Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In my last video I showed you guys my new pink hair and behind the scenes at my photo shoots. I also said that there was a reasoning behind me dyeing my hair pink, and that kind of leads on into something that I have learnt a lot about recently that I also want to share with you guys, and that is self-love, or a better description in my opinion, self-acceptance. So that is what is coming up. Pink is a universal colour of unconditional love, and it is a colour that represents compassion and nurturing. So for me, dyeing my hair pink, coming up to my birthday, that was a reminder to myself and kind of like showering myself with unconditional self-love. And it sounds very deep. It is, I guess, but it also looks cool. But it was something that kind of came to me because I've learned recently how incredibly important it is to love yourself. It is the most important thing that you are responsible for doing, because no one else can do it for you, and you really can't be your best in anything that you choose to do, or even be your best in a relationship if you don't truly love yourself. Although I'm not sure that self-love is best way to explain it, because self-love has this connotation of like doing nice things for yourself, like nice gestures like bubble baths and massages and stuff like that, when in reality sometimes the stuff you have to do is you have to really be brutally honest with yourself. So I think that self-acceptance is a better way to really explain what it is that is so important, because it's about really accepting all of you. It's about accepting the things you're great at, the things you're not so great at, and when you do that and you just show up authentically, that is when you can really be your best and actually really put your voice out there, or stand for something, or go after your purpose. Because if you're not really accepting of yourself, it's hard to show up. You can't show up completely if you don't accept all of the things about you, whether you like them or not. So I think that self-acceptance is an incredibly important thing that we have to learn for ourselves. So that's something I've been really working on lately, hence the reminder to myself to unconditionally accept myself. And that has really, it's made me feel a lot more free to just to believe in myself, because I'm not constantly questioning myself. I feel like, okay, I'm not great at that, but it's cool, or I'm good at this, so I'm going to focus on this, and I feel like I'm being really real with myself, and I think that is what it's about. I used to think that self-love was kind of being really confident almost, self-love was being just loving yourself and being confident and borderline arrogant. I used to think that was, loving yourself was almost a way of showing arrogance, but it's really not. True self-acceptance or self-love it's not actually arrogant at all. It's actually the complete opposite, because it's actually being like, okay, this is me, all of me. I'm not covering anything up. I'm not kind of like masking anything. I'm not hiding this because it's my weakness. I'm not just focusing on the highlights or the good things. True self-acceptance is showing up in your 100%. So that is my thoughts on self-acceptance or self-love. There is a whole lot more, but in this video I really just wanted to give kind of an overview of my thoughts on it and why it's so important it is to accept yourself and love yourself. So in future I will talk more about different aspects of how to accept yourself, and I have talked a bit about the MBTI personality type testing. If you have done that, that was doing my test last year in November. I had done it previously, but I did it again last year, and I truly actually dug into it and that has been probably the single most helpful tool for me to actually start to really learn how to accept myself, because I had to really, it's very confronting, and if you've done it you probably can make sense of what I'm saying right now. If you have not done it, I will put a link in the description to one of the tests that you can do. It is an awesome test, and when you do it, and again this probably won't make sense until the answers are sitting in front of you, when you do the MBTI personality type testing and you are reading through the description of your type, some of the things that you read initially you will kind of reject and like, oh no, that's not me. You know, when I was reading mine I thought, okay, yeah, that resonates, no, that's not me, no, I'm not that. But sometimes it's those things that are actually the things you are not accepting about yourself that you need to accept about yourself, and that doesn't make a huge amount of sense without an example. So I will give you an example. My personality type is highly emotional and highly emotionally driven, and of course when I read through my typing I was like, I'm not highly emotional, and then I'm like, damn, I just got offended. I'm so highly emotional, I just got offended reading that, telling me that I was emotional. So I'm like, Sheena, you are highly emotionally driven. I thrive off human connection and off making other people feel good. So for me, I am highly emotional, but that is not a bad thing. It's not a negative thing unless you don't know how to use it. Like being highly emotional, if you are not actually in tune with your emotions and in a positive mindset or whatever, you know, actually able to use them in a positive way, then being a highly emotional person, it may not be positive at all. But it's, you know, it is what it is. In summary, it is what it is. I am a highly emotional person by nature, and self-acceptance or self-love in that situation is me being like, okay, I'm a highly emotional person. That could be bad or it could be good, but I'm going to make an effort to be aware of it and to actually keep my mindset in a frame of using my emotions positively, as opposed to being highly emotional being a negative thing. And for me, and what I do, like as a coach, and the more I start to actually put out content like this in terms of sharing mindset coaching type things, it's important that I am someone who is in tune with emotions, because I wouldn't be sitting here making these videos if I wasn't someone who cared enough about helping others to feel their best or be their best or grow into their best self if I wasn't a highly emotional person. Anyway, that kind of went on a bit of a tangent, which is what my brain does, but hopefully you followed. So, I dyed my hair love. That's pretty much it. I dyed my hair love. I dyed my hair unconditional love. Yeah. So, I dyed my hair pink to represent unconditional love of myself, because that is how you grow. hopefully you have enjoyed tuning in to this video. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I'm going to put the MBTI test in the link below. Also, check out my previous videos, my life update video where I actually talked about this new direction that I want to move in terms of this channel and the content that I put out, and also my last video where I went behind the scenes at my photo shoot. So check those out. Every time I'm filming, I swear I get distracted by these birds just soaring past my window. So check out those previous videos. I'm going to try and put out a bunch of videos this week. I've got a lot of different topics that I've been asked to talk about. One of them is tips for new bikini competitors. So if you are thinking about competing, or you are a new competitor and you've got questions, leave them below and I will address them when I record that video. And the other one that I want to talk about, as you guys will know, I actually am a lawyer by qualification. I have a Bachelor of Law with Honours, and I worked as a commercial lawyer for 4.5 years before I went on this whole fitness tangent. So I have a lot of experience with contracts, and a lot of people, friends and stuff, come to me actually asking me to have a look over their contracts for sponsorships and endorsements. A lot of people, influencers, athletes, have sponsorship contracts, and I took for granted the fact that I am a lawyer and I actually wrote contracts for a job essentially for 4.5 years. So I have a lot of experience with contracts, but I know that there's a lot of people out there who are not experienced with the law around contracts. So I'm going to do a video around the types of things you should expect in a sponsorship contract, and also the typical things that big companies will often try and put into contracts that you really shouldn't agree to. For example, a non-competition clause. I'm not going to even start talking about that in this video because I will start. And if I start, we're gonna go there. So we're not going to go there, but there are lots of things in sponsorship contracts, endorsement contracts, that can really tie you down if you want to get out of the contract and it's not finished. So if you're listening still and you have any questions around the types of contracts that you would be entering into as an athlete or influencer, leave them in the comments below, and I'm going to do a whole separate video around contract law for the athlete / influencer. So stay tuned for that and more coming soon.